Hey everybody, welcome to Makeover Monday Live. Today we have in studio Donna. It is Mom's Week in the studio. Donna is the mother of stunning Eileen, who was my model a couple weeks back. I'll link her video for you guys. So, and we actually have a couple more moms this week of other gorgeous models. So we're so happy to have Donna.
Glad to be here.
Yay! And today is going to be so fun. I have had a lot of requests for a very glam, sort of like red carpet look with some highlighting and contouring. We're going to do like a fun smoky eye. If you guys have been watching my channel, you know my style is more of like a natural lamp. So we're going to go a little bit more dramatic on Donna today, and it's going to be so fun. So I am going to start with the eyes. Since we're doing like darker shadows and more of a smoky look, I usually do the eyes first, but we're definitely doing eyes first today. So we're going to pamper Donna and give her a little under eye treatment. So these are the Skin Iceland eye pads. So we're going to put these on. So these are a cooling gel pad, and they add a ton of hydration to the under eyes, and they honestly are magical. I always use these on clients, but I don't always do them with my models. I forget. But I love them. I did them last week on somebody, and I could just see, like, looking at their skin before, and then when I peeled them off, it really hydrates the skin. It just feels very soft. Sometimes it's hard to get a lot of hydration in the under eye area because it's so thin. You can't really use like a heavy cream or anything, but these work great. And these are also just going to kind of protect the skin from fallout. So we're going to leave those while we work on the eyes. And I am going to use on Donna today, this is the Natasha Denona Bronze Palette. If you guys have never heard of Natasha Denona, she has like really high-end luxury shadows. I'll open it for you guys. And I'll actually hold it up by Donna so you guys can see the shades. So Natasha Denona is known for her amazing, amazing shadows. And this is her newest palette. So she has some really stunning mattes and gorgeous glitter. So Donna is the first person I'm going to use this palette on. So I'm excited. And we're going to go in with like some of these tones. So this darker color, and this is a really pretty, it's almost like a purpley gray with a lot of shimmer. We're going to be doing those. So I'm going to go ahead and go in with this crease color. This is the color Beach, and this is going to be a really pretty transition color on Donna. Go ahead and close to me, because Donna has really beautiful golden undertones, so this is going to be really flattering. So the two main shadows I'm going to use on Donna are really the only cool tone shadows in the palette, but because of Donna's coloring, I want to set down a warmer transition shade in her crease before I put those ones down. And these shadows are really pigmented. I love to layer my shadows, but you can really see with these ones, like just kind of one pass is getting you all the color that you need. And Donna, you were telling me you actually don't really wear much makeup, right?
No.
On a day-to-day basis, so today's gonna be fun.
No, yeah.
You're gonna feel
Nobody's
super
gonna
glam.
recognize me.
Are you gonna do anything fun with your
Well, I'm
look?
gonna have to now.
I know. What's your day-to-day routine for makeup? Or if it's none, that's
routine?
okay too. Yeah, like what do you generally wear? Do you have something you at least put on? Like you at least throw on mascara?
I have like a lotion that I put on my face. But really, unless I'm gonna go somewhere, I really don't put makeup on, just because I'm not good at it. So yeah, but mainly I do eyeshadow, mascara, cheek stuff, and lips.
I love it.
About it.
Well, that's good. That's like a full face. You're just very natural day to day. That's honestly probably why your skin is so good. Okay, next we are going to go in with the shade. This actually, don't want to pronounce it wrong. Okay, so I'm going to hold up the palette by Donna. So we're going to go in with the shade right now, and we're going to buff that all into the crease. I'm basically going to be doing that all over. So I'm going to grab a smaller little brush, and I'm going to start near her lash line. So this is a fluffy blending brush. This is going to make it look a little bit softer. If you really want a lot of depth to your shadow, you can go with a flat brush, which I will be doing after this, but I like to get a nice even wash of it with a fluffy brush first. And we are live. Makeover Mondays are always live. So if you guys are in the chat, say hello to gorgeous Donna. Let's thank her for being our model today. And thank you to cute Eileen. I'm sure Eileen is watching. Eileen's Donna's daughter, and thank you for referring her to us. Did you watch Eileen's video?
I don't think I did. I watched Brenna's.
Yeah,
and that
okay.
was fun.
You watched Eileen's daughter's video.
Uh-huh.
We're getting like all the generations on the channel. This
Uh-huh.
is so great. So this is a shimmer shadow. So shimmers don't go on quite as opaque as a matte shadow. So the quickest way to put them on is to use a flat brush and just swipe them on. But my technique is I like to use a fluffy brush first because I can really blend it into the crease. And that way I don't have to blend it out afterward. I can do my blending as I apply. And then I'm going to go ahead and top it with a flat brush. So that makes sense. So with these colors, this darker shade, I really want to bring this above Donna's crease. So Donna has more slightly deep set eyes. She has a very gorgeous defined crease. So I want to bring this darker color slightly above that crease. Do you ever watch the Real Housewife shows, Donna?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I haven't watched it.
Have you heard of them?
I've heard of it, yes.
Okay, that's what this look reminds me of. Like when they do their interviews and they are just super glam. They have like the smoky eyes, the contoured skin. That's what we're going to do for you today.
Okay.
I don't watch them. I had never seen those shows until I moved to California because everyone here loves them. Like all my clients in the salon are like, no, you have to watch The Real Housewives.
Yes.
Because they filmed 2 of them here. They have the Orange County one and the Beverly Hills.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I do like them, but sometimes they stress me out because they're always fighting. I'm like, guys, just be nice.
And they're supposed to be neighbors? Is that what they are?
They're supposed
Or
to be
just
friends.
they know each other?
Yeah, they live in the same cities.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so this color, this is like a very wearable color. Right now, it's going to be more softer, but we're going to build it up. And there's like a slate color in this palette too that's deeper, and we're going to use that to contour a little bit more too. Okay, so I'm just going to bring this on Donna's eye, and I like to lift the brow when I apply the shadows. When you do that though, you just need to be aware of where the shadows are going to go when you release the lid. So you do shadow, you said, like when you go out sometimes?
Yes. Uh-huh.
What are your go-to colors?
Light. Light colors, not dark. I try not to do dark because my eyes, because I'm old. So light mauve type colors maybe.
Okay, that's pretty. Yeah, those are like very safe and they always look
Uh-huh.
good. But no one is too old for dark shadows. Makeup is fun.
Mm-hmm.
And I always tell people, like, it washes off. It's like, just try it. It'll be
Yeah.
fun. It is harder. The darker shadows, though, you do, like, they're more intimidating.
Right.
You kind of do
You have to know
how,
where to
yeah,
place it.
exactly. You do have to know what you're doing because they can look heavy, like harsh.
Uh-huh.
But now you'll have, if you would ever like to be this glam again, you'll have your very own video that you can watch. And honestly, the techniques I'm doing today, if you chose, if you or somebody watching chose like later, more natural colors, you could still do these same techniques and just get more of like a day wear. Okay, so I switched brushes. This one is flat. This is a synthetic brush. I love synthetic brushes for metallics and shimmers. I feel like they do a great job of really pressing it into the lid and getting a nice shine. And you can really see, go ahead and open and look at the camera, Donna. So you can see how much more opaque this eye is. We got a lot more color payoff just from switching brushes. That's a fun tip. Like I said, the other one is like my blending brush. I like to pre-blend my darker colors. Otherwise, it's like a complete nightmare if you just pack it all on and then try to blend it out. So I pre-blend and then I pack on my colors. And I will do the other eye and then I'll show you guys one more trick for adding intensity. And we're definitely going to be doing a liner and a lash with this look. When I do private makeup lessons, one thing I notice a lot that people kind of tell me when they bring me photos or something, when people tend to do a more dramatic smoky eye, people spend a long time on the shadows, really building it up, really getting it to look a certain way. But a lot of the smokiness is actually just like in the liner and the lashes, so you don't need to go as dark as you would think. Okay, that's looking great. These shadows are really pretty. They're very wearable. They definitely have like a lot of shine to them. I like it when the glitters are kind of more finely milled. I'm excited already, Donna, for you to see. Okay, I'm going to show you guys one more tip for metallics. So if you would like to bump up the intensity even more, which we do, we're going for it today, you can spray your brush with a like Max Fix Plus or water or something like that, and it's going to even more intensify the shadows. So I'm going to find my Fix Plus. Got it. Okay. So I'm just going to mist that onto my brush, and I applied more of that exact same color. I'm going to start right in the middle of the lid, which just really intensifies that. And also make sure you're going into the tear duct area. We generally go lighter on that area, but when you're doing a smoky look, you really want to get in there. But you can see with the liquid, like how shiny this eye is. I really like that. I'll do it again. These shadows though do a pretty good job dry of getting like that desired effect. Some shadows, when you get your brush wet, it's like night and day. It's like, oh, that's a whole new shadow. It's so much more intense. But the way these glitters are formulated, they do a pretty good job dry. So if you want to skip that step, go for it. Okay, so now, I love that. That's a pretty color. I feel like this would look good on everyone, the one we just did. Because especially with the warmth in the crease for Donna. For Donna, I think I like the warm tones, but I would say this is more of a cool tone. It has sort of that like blue-purple undertone, but it's very wearable. Sometimes those colors can look like a bruise because when you bruise it eventually turns purple, so sometimes that's a tricky color, but that is stunning. Okay, so now we're going to go into the next shade. This is called Deep Dive. This is like a dark slate, sort of a black, like a metallic-y black. And we're going to go in, this is a shader brush, so we're going to go in and just to start to add some intensity near her lash line. So I'm going to have you close, Donna. And we're going to start by working this in the outside corner. Go ahead and open for me. So I'm going to have her open and see where her eye sits. So I want to extend this a little bit outwards, but you're not going to know what it's going to look like unless the eye is open. Okay, go ahead and close. So once I have her open, I know where to place things. Donna has a great eye shape. You don't really have much like hoodedness to your lids. So it's easy to smoke out the shadow. If you do have some hoodedness to your lids, it's a good tip to sort of open your eyes and look forward and then place where your shadow is going to wing out. Okay, go ahead and close. I just like to tap my brush there so I know where it is, and then I'll close the eye and go in with it. Okay, we're going to add more with the liner. I just like to get like a pre-base on. Okay, so now we're going to switch brushes again. This is a very small sort of domed brush, and we're going to go into that same dark color Deep Dive. Go ahead and close. And we're just going to add more smokiness on the lid. Bring it up into the crease. And because Donna has naturally more of a deep set crease, meaning her crease retracts further back rather than the lid being like flat would be sort of the other extreme, she just naturally is going to have a gorgeous shadow there, so I don't need to add too much depth. If someone had hooded eyes or just less of a defined crease, I would work more of this darker color in that area, but going with Donna's natural eye shape, I just know I don't need to. So just a little tip for you guys to alter this look to fit your own eyes. Okay, so now that that's on, I'm going to grab a flat shader brush. So this is also synthetic, it's flat, it's completely straight across. I really like this one to do a pre-liner. So I'm going to have Donna close, and this is that same black color. So I'm going to do this all the way across her lash line. till I get to the inner tear duct. I'm just going to sort of wiggle it. And this is going to add some depth, just a little bit. And then when I go in with my liner, which I'm going to do right now, it's like pre-smoked dress. Okay, so this is my black gel liner. This one is waterproof. It's a long wear. I'm going to go with my favorite little liner brush. Okay. I love this brush because it is an angled brush and it's very skinny, so it can really get in and do some detail work for me. Okay, I'm actually going to have you open your eyes, Donna, but then look down for me. I'm just going to lift your lid. And I'm going to go right under your lashes and then under and in between, essentially. Really put a lot of darkness there. It's definitely weird to have someone do this, if you, especially if you don't do your makeup a lot, and if you need to blink or whatever, you're totally fine. You're not gonna mess me up. So this is this, and maybe when I curl your lashes. Those are the two weirdest things to have done if you're not used to.
Yes.
Okay, so good. Go ahead and look down for me. Perfect. You can absolutely blink if you need to. Can you guys see what I'm going to actually turn you slightly, Donna, and then I'll turn you back, just so my head's not blocking the camera. Look down for me. Good. Guys, if you have any questions about what we're doing today or makeup in general, go ahead and drop them now. Now's a great time to ask them. Okay, so I'm actually going to have you look at the brush, Donna, and follow it over there, and then look down and kind of hold your eyeball there. That way you don't have to watch the brush coming at you. I'm doing great, though. Okay, perfect. Go ahead and look at me. Good. So I'm going to show you guys something, actually. So that's called tightlining. When I tightline, I essentially go right under the lashes and then also in between. But when you see Donna looking forward, you can still see a little bit of the skin under the eye. So that's called the waterline, like your little skin that's under the lash line and also the lower one. So for a lot of eye shapes, if I just do a skinny line, when the eyes are open looking forward, it looks completely blacked out. But on some people, the way the lids are, you just see a little bit more of that skin. And so I'm going to take a thicker angled brush and just apply more liner there. So go ahead and look down for me, kind of wherever is comfortable. I'm just going to go in. Okay, go ahead and look over this way slightly. Good. Look forward. No, you're doing so good. It's so weird. Okay, look down again and maybe more towards your nose. Good. I'm going to come in this way. Perfect. Okay, open for me. So you can see when, maybe you can see, I hope you guys can on the camera that it's picking it up. When Donna looks forward, this eye, her, I guess camera left, or camera right, I'm not sure, this eye, it looks more intense than this eye because we added more of that black liner. So that's a good tip. The reason why, I'm going to have you look down again, Donna, we're going to make this eye match. The reason why I don't initially go in and just cover that entire waterline just to start with, since that's the look we want, is because it gets a little bit more messy. It's more likely to migrate down in their eyes. So I don't like to, I apply it minimally to get the look I want. So if I need to apply more, I will. Okay, with your eyes, go ahead and follow the brush this way. Good, keep your eye down there. Good. It's much less weird to do this on yourself. So if you guys are recreating it on yourself, highlighting it's honestly magical. Okay, look forward for me. Good, and then kind of down in this way. Perfect. Also, this like inner tear duct area, it looks best when it's like a very thin line. Generally, that's like a general rule of thumb. Go ahead and look this way for me. Great. But with Donna's gorgeous eyes, she can pull off a little bit thicker liner. So, okay, so now I'm gonna have you close. This part will be easy. You can relax. I'm gonna use the same brush. So I am using this shader brush. I have a couple liner brushes I like. So I like this one because it's a little bit thicker. And Donna's eyes can pull off a thicker line of liner. With more hooded eyes, which I know a lot of people have, and there just aren't a ton of videos for them on YouTube, so I like to give tips for them. With hooded eyes, you just generally want to keep this line really, really skinny. Liner is amazing. We all love it. There are tips to customizing it to each of our eyes, so I want to share those tips today. Okay, go ahead and open. So pretty. Donna, I am so excited. Go ahead and close. Okay, I'm going to check on the chat. Make sure I have it loaded. So drop your questions if you guys have them. Okay. Linda, hi Linda. Hi Millie. So happy you made the live today. Oh, Corey's here. She says hi, Mom. Corey's she has stunning daughters, you guys. They're stunning, just like cute Donna. Jason says hello. Okay, and then a question. When you are applying so many different colors on the eyelid, how do you keep it looking so nice? It seems when I try that, they all blend together and look muddy. Thank you. Okay, that is such a fabulous question because I think that is a problem so many people have. Go ahead and close for me. So the first tip for keeping your eyeshadows from looking muddy is to start with clean brushes. I have like a quick way to clean brushes in my brush cleaning video because just right off the bat, that'll make your eyeshadow look muddy. Like you notice when I worked on her eye, I was switching brushes a lot. That keeps things where you want. And also go ahead and close for me. I like to place things intentionally and in a gradient. So this warmer color, I placed really high in her crease. And then as I switched colors, I didn't bring them up so high. So when they were blending together, I was very intentional about it. I think a lot of people will keep topping their colors and that looks muddy as well. So those are actually my two best tips is clean brushes and then be intentional with your placement. I think it's fun when we get a new eyeshadow palette and it has all these colors. I think people want to use so many on their eyes because why not? That's like what you see people doing in videos, but as a general rule, kind of less is more. I have only used 3 colors on Donna today and we're getting a gorgeous, gorgeous look. Okay, so I love, love, love the way that is looking gorgeous. I'm actually gonna grab a black. Okay, this is the Viseart palette. So this is a matte black. So I want to top some of the liner with the matte black, and then I'm going to go in with the black in Natasha Denona. So the Natasha Denona black is shimmery, and I don't want it to lighten the shadow that I just did. Go ahead and close for me. So I'm going to top this with the matte black, and then I'm going to top that with the shimmer, just to give it a little bit of depth. So back to the question about eyeshadow. I have a tutorial, one of the first tutorials on my channel. It's not live, it's edited, so I think it's only like 7 minutes. But I demo how I do eyeshadow. I have like do's and don'ts, and I have like a little graphics I put up for placements because I really am into that. I'm visual, I like to learn that way. And that's a really good one if you're still like having problems with muddy eyeshadow. I will, when I add the description box after this video goes live, I will link that video for you. Okay, so now that we have the black on, I'm going to go back to the Natasha palette. We're going to go into the shade Deep Dive again. And then somebody also asked what the white pads were under Donna's eyes. Go ahead and close. So those are hydrating eye patches. They're just like a little spa treatment under the eyes while we work on the lids, because we're going to do skin after. Those are great. I started using those with all my bridal clients just for a sort of treatment to help them look their very best on the day of, and I love them so much. Okay, and we're actually going to take them off now. No, we'll do bottom liner first. Okay, so we are going to do bottom liner on Donna today just to add some intensity to the look. I'm going to go in with that same brush. Oh, Kelly says, when you are that beautiful to begin with, ... heart. I know, Donna is just honestly so stunning. No wonder you never wear makeup, Donna. You don't need it. Go ahead and look up. I was like, when I was doing all her skin treatments before, when I was exfoliating her and moisturizing her, I was like, oh, your skin is so good. And I'm like, what do you do to take care of it? And you said nothing.
I guess it's good genes, maybe.
Oh, great genes. Okay, go ahead and look up. And maybe up and kind of over this way, yeah, so you're not looking at the brush. Okay, up up and over this way. I truly think like if you wear minimal makeup and you don't wear foundation, like your skin just is a little bit better. And for those of us up in this way, good. That do just love our foundation, you really want to have a good nightly cleansing system in place, otherwise your pores get clogged. Good. Look over this way, good. Okay, perfect. Switch brushes real quick. I love this skinny brush in the inner corner, and this look that way again, good. Look forward. A lot of times Donna's aren't, but a lot of times people's tear ducts are like, they're not quite symmetrical. So when you're putting on the liner, just do your best to get them to look the same. But Donna's are. She makes my job so easy. Okay, we get that off my hand, and then we'll take off the gel pads. Oh, Linda says, Eileen, your mom is beautiful. Hi, Angelique. Did you take the color first and then spray Fix Plus, or the other way around? Yes. So Angelique is asking about what I did to intensify the shadows. I showed you guys that I sprayed Fix Plus. So my technique to do that is I apply the shadow to the brush and then I spray it with Fix Plus. I know some people will first spray their brush and then go into the shadow, but I don't like to introduce liquid into my eyeshadow palettes. I feel like it's less sanitary and it just can break down your formulation over time. So my preference is to like keep the shadows dry, even though I use the same brush. So it does introduce moisture into that shadow. It's just less, if that makes sense. So I spray after. I put the shadow on my brush and then I spray it. Okay, we're gonna need a little bit of my soda water. Okay, so once I peel those pads off, how does your skin feel?
Good.
It looks great. It really, it's just crazy. I feel like it just minimizes lines under those eyes. It's temporary, but it's just like that boost of moisture, especially for the duration of it sitting on the eyes. Go ahead and look up. I really like them. I noticed more how good they were. Like I tried them on myself and I liked how they felt, but like on other people, I feel like we're more likely to see the skin improving on ourselves. We're like, oh, it's not perfect, so they didn't work. But I can tell a huge difference when I use them on people. Okay, so I'm just gonna clean up under the eyes. I generally don't place those pads all the way up to the lower lash line, because when you move around the eye and you close and you smile, it's like uncomfortable. So I generally do it a little bit lower. So I still have some cleaning up to do, but they did a great job. So I'm going to continue to add some shadow under the eye, but what I'm first going to do is apply the lashes, and then we're going to work on Donna's skin, and then I'm going to come back, and after I do her under eye concealer, then I'm going to add more smokiness under the eye. So we'll be good. So we're going to actually curl Donna's lashes. This is the other thing that might feel weird to you, but I think we can do it. Okay, does that pinch at all? Okay. So I know I have makeup artists that watch, like my technique to curling other people's lashes is I just have them look forward, and then I really gently and softly close, and then I like, does that pinch, Donna? I ask if it pinches, and then I do some little squeezes. You want to ask if it pinches before you actually squeeze, like just apply a little pressure, and that way you will never ever ever pinch them. And then we're going to apply, so I think what we're going to do on Donna today, these are the Kiss lashes. We don't have a P&G Kelly. These are Jubilee. They're pretty. They are flared at the ends. They give a little bit of a cat eye effect. And they're very wispy and tapered, and they're a medium density lash. Because Donna is blonde, I didn't want to do a super thick lash. Just because her other features are a little bit soft, I feel like it would be a little too heavy, and I didn't want to cover up that really pretty eyeshadow that we did. So these are a medium lash. These are in the style Jubilee. I will link these as well, or at least list them below. So good rule of thumb, you want to wait 40 seconds after you apply your glue. I like clear and I like black. On Donna, I'm going to use black because I want the lash line to be super thick. Okay, Linda says, how do you keep the liner from transferring to the lower waterline? When you are tight lining, like I mentioned, depending on your eye shape, sometimes you will just get a little bit of transfer. Some gels work better than others. This is the Anastasia waterproof gel, liner gel. And I don't tend to get as much transfer like once it dries, but I don't mind. So if you were here, if you were watching when I was kind of explaining my tight lining technique and placement, if you start by placing it just in the lashes and not so much on the full waterline, like I mentioned, when you get transfer, it's only going to transfer to your bottom lash line and not the full waterline. And I actually think that looks great. It's going to give you a really natural sort of like just shadow under there, which I like. So try that. Try, if you missed that part or you watch the replay, rewind to that part and just watch where I explain how I get it right under the lashes and in between. And that way when it transfers to the bottom, it's not going to get messy at all. So that's my tip. Another thing is the inner tear duct area. I like liner there. I think it looks great, but that's if you have an eye shape that transfers a lot. Go ahead and look down for me, Donna, but don't close. If you have an eye shape where you get a lot of transfer, skip the tight lining in the inner tear duct, because that's where our eyes water. That's where our eyes really like fold together when we close or we smile. And so generally people get a lot of transfer in that area. So those are my 2 tips. With gel liner, you really can't completely stop the transfer. You can set it with a powder. There's different things you can do, but sometimes you just are going to get a little transfer. So make it work in your favor, essentially. Hope that answered. I feel obligated to impart all my knowledge. So when you guys answer questions, I'm sorry if my answers are long-winded, but okay, so that eye is good. We're going to put some glue on again. Fan it. Pretty. I love lashes. Lashes, in my opinion, if you do a really smoky look and you're doing lots of liner, I think lashes are a must. They just look so pretty. And they add a lot of definition to the eye. They just make it look more intense. And I haven't curled these and put mascara on yet, but they just look a little more complete. Sometimes when I see a really smoky eye, it just feels a little incomplete until there's lashes. If you're not into it, you can totally do your own. Just give them curl, a lot of curl. Definitely curl if you're doing your own lashes, and add maybe an extra coat of the mascara. What gel eyeliner are you using? I will hold it up by Linda's face, so we'll switch cameras, Kelly to Linda. Okay, so this is the Anastasia. This is the waterproof cream color in the shade Jet. So it's a gel. You can use any brand. If you like drugstore, Maybelline has a pretty good one. I like Bobbi Brown's, but I am trying this one, and I really like it. Been using it for the last week or 2. Okay, good tip for the Fix Plus. Thank you. You're welcome. Okay, what are the gel pads for? Puffiness? Yeah, so the gel pads, they're cooling, so they do sort of calm the eye, so they do help reduce puffiness. Go ahead and look down. Perfect. I'm actually going to turn you a little bit towards me. Great. I'll turn the chair for you. Yes, they do reduce puffiness, but I find that they just do a great job of hydrating. So they just help that area look a little smoother. Like it kind of temporarily will like fill in the fine lines slightly. Just gives it like a little bit of a plumpness. Okay, and you can go ahead and, yeah, keep looking down. You can blink as much as you need to. Mm-hmm. To reduce puffiness, I really like, let me show you guys. This is Needles No More by Dr. Brandt. This is called No More Baggage. This is a really, really good depuffing eye cream. So I always use that on people that have puffiness. A lot of people have a little, and just the cooling gels and the moisture will kind of take it down, but if somebody has a lot of bags. But it's your daughter asking that question, and she does not have a lot of bags, so you don't need that. I know, but if anyone listening. Okay, we're going to switch to foundation. We are going to use this one. So this is NARS. We've already skin prepped you today. Debating if I want to do like a glow primer. I think no, we'll just glow you with powders. Okay, we're going to apply this with brush. And we are going to go full coverage on Donna today. Donna has such smooth skin. I'm not going to be needing to do a lot of layers to get her to full coverage, but we are going to go more of a full coverage. I feel like that balances out the eyes. I find that when I go really heavy on the eyes, for some reason it tends to emphasize skin imperfections slightly. I think just because it's so much drama, I feel like it pairs well with more of like a full coverage, medium to full coverage. I still like the skin to look like, to keep texture minimal, so full coverage for me isn't like, still isn't cakey, like really intense, but definitely do more coverage. And I do the brows before just to save time. I have a video on how to do brows, and I essentially do them very similar every time, so I don't really ever do them on camera. You can do them, the step of doing brows is totally personal preference. I do them first for the sake of the video, but when I do an actual client off camera, sometimes I'll do them after, sometimes I'll do them after the eyes, sometimes I do them at the very, very end, but also I do them before, so it doesn't matter. Oh, Linda says, thank you. Julie, you're very good at explaining everything. Thank you. I hope so. Okay, I'm going to turn your face towards me. Perfect. Get this side. And then we are going to be doing some cream contour today. So that will be fun. Do kind of a bronze. So what I find pairs well with a smoky eye, I like a little bit of warmth in the cheeks. Like I do like a bronze, but I like to keep the colors more nude and neutral. I just feel like it works best with the coloring. Sometimes if you go, like for my girls that like pink on the lids, the cheeks and the lips and everything, sometimes with a deep smoky eye, it just looks like more makeup. So we're gonna do more of a nude on Donna, so I'm going to turn you forward actually. And I definitely like to go down the neck with foundation. Okay. Sometimes I buff over everything with a beauty blender, but I feel like I do not need to do that for Donna. All right, let's do under eyes. So we are going to first highlight and then we're going to contour. So I like to highlight either with, I think I'm going to mix a couple things. So I'm going to mix my NARS concealer with Tarte Shape Tape. So this is Tarte Shape Tape. This is the light medium shade. And then we're also going to go with, okay, this is Light Honey. This is NARS. I like mixing the two. When I'm doing more of a glam look, I definitely like to incorporate the Tarte Shape Tape. It's just so great for getting a really full coverage, and the texture is fantastic, but it does tend to be slightly heavier and maybe like settle in the creases a little bit more than this NARS one does. So I find that mixing them gives a really great finish. So I'm just going to do some light highlighting under the eyes. I don't want to brighten under Donna's eyes too much. I more want to brighten the cheeks. So I'm just kind of lightly going under her eyes. I don't want to introduce texture to that area. I do want to brighten under the eyes. And when I go this far, I'm probably going a good 3 shades lighter under her eyes right now, which I don't always do, but when you do, you definitely need to introduce light in other areas. So I'm going to go on the chin, between the brows, and maybe down the nose slightly. When I do the nose, you're going to pinch your brush and then it becomes skinny. Just go down the nose like that. If you guys have any more questions, go ahead and drop those in the chat. I'm going to have Donna turn, actually I'll turn the chair for you. So this, going lighter under the eyes, this is where it can start to look like a lot of makeup. But I wanted to show you guys how I like to do it since it has been requested. So I'm going to show you how I like to keep it natural and wearable, even with going like this light. I'd say I like to stick to like a shade and a half lighter. I feel like that's kind of the magic sweet spot, but when we're going more glam, you got to go for it. And keep in mind too, I'm going to turn you back now. Keep in mind, we're going to be contouring, so like it's not going to look this stark light once we get the contour on there, which we will be doing now. Okay, let's grab it. All right, this is my Graftobian contour. I really love this one. They sell different contour palettes and they have 5 shades in them. So I'm going to mix a couple of these for Donna, create her perfect contour shade, and mix it on my little palette. Okay, and we're going to do some nose contour today. I love a good nose contour. You've probably never had your nose contoured, have you? Well, this will be so fun. Okay, first I want to make sure I have all my shadows blended. Okay. So I like to start sort of at the bridge. Hopefully you guys can see with my head kind of in the... Actually, I'm going to turn Donna slightly towards me so I'm not in your way. Let me know if you guys can see okay. So I like to just sculpt the tip of the nose. And then because we went smoky on the eyes, we can connect it into the eyeshadow, sort of extending that crease contour down into the nose, if that makes sense. Okay, and I'm gonna let that sit. I'm gonna buff it out slightly, and then we're gonna let that sit before we completely blend it. If I'm going for more natural, I will immediately blend, but if you want it to be a little bit more dramatic, you let it sit. Okay, so while that sits, I'm gonna take, this is actually the brush I did the foundation with, and then we're gonna start to contour. Okay. Oh, thank you. Someone, Angelique said, indeed, everything is so well explained. I'm so happy we can be live and ask questions. I'm happy to have you guys. I'm glad I make sense. Okay. Jay Headless, hello, welcome. She says, what brushes are good for applying concealer? Okay, this is like the very best. So this is by It Cosmetics. This is number 203. So this is the blending concealer brush. This is literally magic under the eyes. Like, if you were here for the concealer part, when I was buffing it, it's so amazing. Like, it instantly sort of airbrushes the entire look. On Donna's face, I didn't even need to use the beauty blender to like further blend it. So this is really fantastic. I feel like it does a good job buffing the concealer in while getting a really nice sort of thin application of it. And I also love that I can buff with it and not disrupt the foundation underneath. Sometimes when you use brushes for concealers and things like that over foundation, you pull up the texture and it gets a little messy, but that one's great. I'll list that one today. I don't always link the brushes I use, but I will link that one in the description box today after this video is done being live. Okay, so I'm doing sort of the same technique with the contour. I am applying it to her face, and I am slightly buffing it, but I'm gonna let it sit for a second before I fully blend. And then I like to do, I'm gonna turn you back, I like to do the sides of the forehead before I go up to the middle. And Donna has bangs, so you're not really gonna see this contour that we're doing, but slightly. They're like a side swept bang, so I still want to do the forehead, but I don't have to be as worried. The forehead I do, for some reason, kind of blend as I go, but the cheeks I let sit a little bit. Okay, and we are going to do the jawline. So I'll show you guys what I like to do. So I like to start on the side, kind of in the middle, like almost more on like an area I would want to contour. And then I'm gonna buff it up into like the ear area. So for the jaw contour, I don't want a lot. So I'm gonna blend this as I go. I'm just gonna do a little bit. It can sort of look like a shadow, like a beard or something if you go too much with a jaw contour.
I don't need more of a beard.
No, Donna has no beard, and we do not want to give Donna a beard, so. But it does, I feel like, so you can skip the jaw contour. Jaw and the nose is like where it gets a little more advanced, I would say. Like if you contour cheekbones and forehead, you're good. You're probably gonna nail it. I feel like we've all seen so many videos on that by now, and just the natural contours of your face, it's a little bit easy to see where it needs to go. But the jaw's only difficult because you want it to look natural in real life. The nose is tricky, so I'll give you guys my tips. So once that is on, I'm going to switch. This is the same brush, the same little foundation brush. It's just a clean one. So I'm just going to buff over this. You can even, like, I like to put my foundation and my contours on like a little dish and work from it. So you can even go over your foundation if you want and sort of blend that contour further. But that's good for now. I will give you guys a tip for cheek contours though. So we'll start on this side so you guys can see. So if you notice my placement, like where my brush handle is, that's the exact hollow of Donna's cheek. So my placement is always going to be a little bit higher. I feel like it lifts the face. And when you use I want to say warm tone contour, this is a warm tone contour, but it's not a bronzer. It can look just sort of like a blush. So I apply it higher. I feel like as you blend, it just migrates down. It just does. Like that's what happens. And it can look heavy and off if it's too low. So I like to start it higher and then blend it in. So that is my contour tip, but for cheeks. And I like to stop a little past the corner of the eye. Right? I use it for bridal always, and generally for events too. So I do like it. That is my thoughts on it. I don't do it every day though for makeup. When I would use it on myself, I feel like when I first start using a new bottle, I'm like, oh, this is amazing. Like my makeup lasts all day. But I felt like for my skin, when I would introduce it as a normal part of my routine, the effects kind of wore off. Like my skin got used to it and I would just produce more oil. So I don't use them day to day. And the way I apply my makeup holds up really well. Like my models will text me and be like, oh, it lasted all day. And I don't do setting spray on my models because I don't do it on camera and I forget because they're not actual clients. So I do like it. So I for sure add it for like bridal where I do their makeup at like 6 a.m. and it has to last all night or something like that. I keep it in the routine, but it's not necessary. I will say though, when I was in labor with my daughter, I did my makeup, at the beginning, and I used setting spray, and let me tell you what, my makeup was flawless even after birth. Like it worked so good, and I rarely use it on myself. So it's great. I love it. Long answer to your question. So Donna, you said you tend to be more dry, right? You don't really get oily.
Yes, yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm very dry.
So I'm not going to like completely set Donna. This is setting powder. I generally do set under the eyes just because that part of our face has a lot of movement generally. If we're happy or smiley or mad, I guess, you're gonna move your eyes. So I do set like the movement areas of the face just to not get creasing. But like seeing Donna's skin, it has a really pretty sheen to it, but like I can tell she's not going to get oily. She said she was dry. And when we prepped her today, I used oils and stuff like that on her skin. So I'm not going to add powder. But I'm going to set the cream contour with a bronzer. So this is the Hoola bronzer. I hope this is the limited edition. It's like the really giant one and I love it. I hope they make it permanent. It's really great. This is just their classic shade. So I am setting the contour with this. This is a great shade. So Hoola has this one, and I believe they have, well, I know they have one for fair skin, like Hoola Light. I don't know if they have a deeper one for deep skin. So if this is too light for the skin tone I'm using, I really love Makeup Forever powder foundations or the MAC Studio Fix foundations, because those come in like a ginormous shade range. You can have everything. So if you have like a deeper skin tone and you would like to do this technique, those are great if the Hoola Benefit is like not your shade. So this is a powder, and since I'm applying it directly over a cream, I'm being careful. I'm doing swiping motions, but I'm also doing stippling motions too, so that I don't disrupt that foundation, since I did not set this area with a translucent powder. And I like to go in with the light hand for this bronzer. Bronzer can tend to look so patchy, and it is such a bummer. If you have beautifully blended your face, you've been careful, and you go in and just slap some bronzer on and have like a big like little patch of it, it's so hard to blend out when you do powder over foundation, especially when you don't set it. So like use your little fairy fingers, be gentle for this part, because that's it. Honestly, it's so sad. It's easier to fix cream. You can be honestly a little more careless with your cream if you're going to be careless with something, but when you go in with your powder, be careful, be very gentle. And so with so setting the neck, I'm just going to go down the neck a little bit. I'm not going to like fully go on the jaw until there's not, like right now there's nothing on my brush, so then I'll blend into it. And we can add a little bit of Donna, or a little bit of Donna on Donna, a little bit of bronzer on Donna's neck. So if Donna was like, Julie, I'm gonna be on the red carpet tonight, I'm gonna wear like a strapless gown, make me glam, I would do chest foundation and a little glow and stuff like that. But I love Donna's outfit. I'm assuming you're wearing this, so I'm just going to bronze you a little bit to keep it blending. I love body makeup so much, honestly. It's like the best makeup secret there is. I mean, I don't do it every day. No one does it day to day. But if you are getting photos done or you're going somewhere, wear the body makeup. It's like life-changing. Or if you want to just be like so extra at the beach or the pool, like put the glow on your legs. It's amazing. Okay, so that kind of blended it. Sometimes like lots of makeup, blending to no makeup on the chest is like a little off. So sometimes I'll just add a little bit of bronzer, and that's great because it's really easy and it doesn't get on your clothes and stuff like that. So that is that. We're gonna do some blush. I really have been loving cream blushes these days, but since I did not, or since I already did my powder bronzer, I'm gonna apply this one. So this is called Give Me Sun. This is by MAC. This is one of their mineralized blushes, so this has a lot of sheen in it, like a lot of shimmer, which I like. It's gonna look glowy and it doesn't look as powdery. It looks more like natural on the skin, but it's just gonna give the face some life. And I just put it right above the contour, and then I dust it a little bit onto this area right here. So not the apples so much, but kind of like above it. And you can see like this side of Donna's face, it just looks a little more complete. I love blush, I really do. I know not everyone does, but I think it's so pretty. This is a great color too, the Give Me Sun, because it's very bronzy, like a bronzy peach, so it looks like a blush, but it's like, it blends in really well with the contour. And it's like a magical shade. It honestly matches every lip color in every eye. Like it's a warm blush obviously, but it's like looking great with her cool eyeshadow tone. Oh, we're getting compliments on our videographer. Someone's saying, oh man, who's your videographer? She's amazing. Oh, she is. We love producer Kelly. We could not do this channel without producer Kelly. We could not be live. So shout out to Kelly. Okay, we're gonna highlight Donna. I'm gonna mix like all the shades in my Hourglass palette, maybe. Don't want them to be too light. Yeah, we're just gonna dust it on her cheeks. This Hourglass palette, all Hourglass's highlighting powders, like their ambient light powders, are so beautiful on mature skin because they're very iridescent. Like they give the most beautiful sheen, like it just makes the light bounce off the skin, but they don't look chunky or sparkly or like glittery, all the things that people don't love. Like, it doesn't add texture, essentially. I love it on all ages. I use this palette all the time. It is great.
Hey Jules, I'm gonna have you not talk for 1 second.
Okay. Okay. Guys, let us know how the sound is. We're trying some new things out with our sound producer. Kelly was just doing some stuff to fix it. Let me know if you can hear me nice and clear or if anything is going on. Okay, so like I said, now that I've done the face, we're going to do the lips, and the lips are going to bring it together. We also are going to finish the eyes. Actually, first I'm going to curl it, just in case your eyes water. I'm going to curl you, then finish under the eyes, and then we'll do the mascara. So I'm going to have you look forward again. And this I'm not going as close. So does that pinch at all?
Mm-mm.
Okay. You're doing great, Donna, for never having your eyes like messed with. You're doing fantastic. I'm going to curl them one more time. Is that okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So usually, like, the false lashes will curl really, really easy. You have to be careful. These ones, for some reason, you can add a little more pressure. Does that pinch at all?
Mm-mm.
Okay. So I'm going to give them a good squeeze. Go ahead and look forward. And you can see, like, this side's been more curled. See how, like, open it is? Like, the lashes sort of sit upon the eyes. Look maybe straight forward for me. Perfect. Does that feel okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, open. Good. Yeah, it just, like, opens up the face. Curl is everything. I love a good curl to the natural lashes and the extensions. Okay, we are going to use this brush. Okay, so this is a domed shader brush. I have two that I like. So I'll hold them up by Donna so you guys can kind of see. So one of these brushes is taller and one is shorter. So this taller one, when I press it on Donna's face, it's gonna spread more shadow. And this little guy is more stiff, so it's gonna do a smaller area of shadow. So we're gonna play with some things right now. We're gonna go in with this like beautiful purpley silver color with my bigger brush. But we're for sure gonna get fallout, so give me a second. Okay, hold some tissue under Donna's eyes. So look up for me. So we're just gonna spread this color under Donna's eyes and add a lot of smokiness. And this is where the Natasha Denona shadows really shine. I do the under eye without getting it wet, but when you spread them like this and sort of wiggle back and forth, it really presses those pigments and you're gonna get a lot of reflectiveness. They're so gorgeous. Okay, can see that just adds more intensity. I love, love, love it. Sort of completes the eye look. When you do this under eye, how are your eyes doing, Donna?
Fine.
Good. When you do like all the liner that we did, I feel like it looks complete if you add a little bit of shadow underneath. You can sort of look that way for me. Perfect. This is a fun shade. When you just apply it like I'm doing on the bottom, when I just sort of smear it essentially with a fluffy brush, it goes on much softer and like a little sheer. But when I packed it on the lid, it looked a little more intense. It was kind of fun to play with. All right, so now we're switching brushes. Where did I put it? Oh, here it is. Okay, switching brushes to my more dense one. And now we're gonna go into this black shade, the slate color. So I'm gonna use this and I'm gonna have Donna look up again. Do you enjoy, like when you do get ready, Donna? So some you don't wear makeup day to day and you're stunning. You don't need it. No one really needs it. But then like when you go out and you do, like, are you like, oh, this is fun. I feel girly.
It is.
Okay.
Yes.
So it's not like a hassle.
No. I feel like I need to wear something.
Makeup
Otherwise,
is
I
so
look
fun.
a little dead.
You don't. You're flawless, Donna. The makeup is so fun. Okay, so this is the darker color, and this is probably weird for Donna to have me do. So I'm essentially wiggling it into the lash line. this darker color. Okay. So see how much like that just diffused the color? So we went from sort of like a hard line of liner under the eyes and now it's diffused. So we did the lighter color, a wide area of it, and then we really intentionally did kind of like a line of that black color, but I buffed it out. That's why I really like those brushes. And now we're gonna add some mascara and that's really gonna tie everything together, and then we'll do the lips. There's magic in the lips when you have smoky eyes. It is all about the lip you pair it with. Okay. Oh, everyone's saying you look stunning.
Thank you.
Very pretty. Okay, look up for me. Really pretty blue eyes.
Thank you.
Eileen has brown eyes, huh?
Yes, Not one of my kids has blue eyes.
That's so crazy. And wait, and tell me how many kids you have again, Donna?
11.
She has 11 kids, guys. Donna is amazing. That is honestly so fun. There's 7 kids in my family, and everyone always is like, oh, you have such a big family, but 11 is a lot. But there's like the most joy in like a big family. Like
Yes,
I
there is.
love it. I'm sure all your kids are so, so grateful for all the hard work you put in raising all 11.
They are.
You can look down for me. I'm just going to kind of lift your lid in. Do you guys get together often with everybody?
Yes, we do. We try to.
Are most local?
We have 7 in California and 4 in other states,
Okay,
neighboring states.
got it. California, it's a good sort of like, everyone likes to come here. I'm the only one in my
Yes.
family in California, but we get them down here quite often.
Oh, that's great.
People like to come visit. There's lots to do. Okay, Linda says you need to send the kids and our grandkids and animals out for the evening and do a stay-at-home date night. That is a great
Yeah.
idea. That's an awesome idea. You should and let us
Yes.
know how it goes. Okay. Oh, that was gorgeous. Your eyes are so pretty. Okay, we're gonna do the lips. I am going to do a brown nude on Donna. So I think what I'm gonna do, sorry, I'm gonna kind of step away from the camera. I'm gonna swatch a couple. Let me see what I have.
Did you answer the double chin question?
Oh no, I didn't see that. We got a question that I didn't answer. Okay, we're gonna do, this is my NYX liner in the shade Los Angeles. So it's like a cool tone liner. So I swatched these two. This one's more of like a very brown, like a sort of rusty brown, and this one's more of like a mauvey pinky brown. This is the one I'm gonna do on her today. And we did get a question that I missed, so let me find it. Oh, Eileen says, Mom, now you need to go on a hot date with Dad. And she said, except your mask will cover your beautiful makeover. I know, well, we went for the eyes, so you'll look very gorgeous behind your mask. Okay, and someone says you remind them of the actress Linda Evans.
Oh.
She says you're very beautiful. I don't know who Linda Evans is. I'll have to look that up. Okay, for disguising a double chin, do you use contour, bronzer, or does it matter? That is a fabulous question because that is a hard, or that's sort of like an advanced makeup thing just to get it to look great in real life. I have a whole video. It's live so you can see all the steps on contouring a double chin. It's a great video because there's a lot of different things you can do depending on like your goals. So I highly recommend that. I'll put that in the description box. Give me usually it takes me an hour or so after the client leaves. I make the thumbnail and I link everything or I list it. So I will put that in the description box. The model for that video, she was booked. I think she was here for Makeover Monday and she messaged me and she's like, hey, I would love, can we contour my double chin and talk about it on your video? And I was like, oh, that would be great. A lot of people asked me about that. So we did a whole video on that. But I'll kind of briefly answer your question right now. Let me check. Do you use contour, bronzer, or doesn't matter? Okay. When you say use contour, bronzer, usually when people say contour, they mean more of a cool tone, and then bronzer is warm tone. I just do whatever I do with the rest of the face. If I contour the face and I have those contoury tones, I will bring that into the jawline. If I only do bronzer, then I'll add a little bit of a bronzer to contour the double chin. But if you use too much bronzer, sometimes it can look a little too warm. So I definitely recommend watching that video. Okay, go ahead and close for me. I think I'm going to overline Linda's lips just a little bit for fun. She has a great, great lip shape. You can actually close for me. But we're just going to bring things up a little bit higher. Why not? Sometimes that's, if I like to alter people's lip shapes, I will line their natural shape and see how things are looking. And then if I want to play with it, I'll bring it up a little higher. So the illusion of like a slight bit of fullness. And then I just follow the natural lip shape, but I just extend it a little bit, if that makes sense. This is a fun technique. You really can't, in my opinion, like overline the lips or change the lip shape with lipstick. You have to do it with the liner. It just looks more natural. And the texture of the liner is better. Usually liners are matte. Lipsticks have kind of a shine to them and it looks sort of weird. So we're probably going to do kind of like an ombre nude lip on Donna. Okay. So this is another tip if you want to go glam. If you want to outline your lips, it's really fun to try. Fake the lip injections. I think it looks more natural. Go ahead and close the lip injections because you're just following the shape of the lips. Okay, stunning. And so another thing I like to do if I outline the lips, sometimes I will take like a little bit of concealer and just really clean up that line, like sculpt it. But if you've never tried overlining your lips to make them look a little bit more full, I definitely recommend it. It's super fun, especially when you have more of a smoky eye or you're going more glam. It's just fun. Okay, let's grab, I think I'm gonna do Myth. Myth is like a very, very nude shade. It's quite light. We're gonna do that. And then I may do a little bit of Cherish as well if Myth is too light for my liking. We're gonna see what it looks like. Okay, so Myth is really light. I think I'm gonna blend the two. So we're gonna do Cherish. This is by MAC. We're gonna top the lip liner with Cherish and blend everything together. Cherish is like a beautiful, very neutral nude. It's a good topper. And I'll probably do like a little bit of a gloss. Do you like gloss, Donna?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we'll do a little gloss. Okay, and then this one's Myth. So I'm doing Myth just like right on the inside to kind of do like an ombre effect. Gorgeous. All right, let's do White Russian. This is like a beautiful nude gloss. These are Buxom glosses. I love the Buxom glosses. They are all I have been using lately. So we're just gonna do the center. My lights, my studio lights are so bright. If I put gloss all over the lip, they just kind of reflect weird off the top. So I'm just gonna do all right. We took a before photo, or before video of pretty Donna today. So we're gonna flash her before I did the eyes. I think it was before we exfoliated and did skin prep. So we will show that to you guys, and then we will show Donna. We'll have the big reveal of Ultra Glam Donna. Okay, oh, and Millie said Linda Evans is from the 80s show Doubts Before Your Time, Julie. Yeah, I don't know it. Okay, all right, let's show Donna. You ready? Ready for Glam Donna? Listen here.
Oh, wow.
You look
That's awesome.
stunning. so
Thank you
pretty. You're
so
welcome.
much.
You're welcome. You look gorgeous.
Different person.
I know, isn't makeup fun? It's
Yes.
fun to be glam, guys. So I challenge all of you to try this glam we did on Donna today. It honestly is so fun. And you can use, we only use 3 shadows, like I said, so anybody can recreate this look. You can pretty much do it with any palette because most palettes are gonna have like a couple deeper shades in them. And generally palettes like have a color story of colors that are gonna look good together. So if you pick 3, like a good transition shade in your crease and then a couple with more depth, like you cannot mess it up. Try my tight lining techniques, throw on lashes, try overlining your lips. I do recommend when you do like a heavier eye look, I recommend a nude lip. I love it. I feel like it's like very user friendly and like mistake proof. You can't mess it up. So I will list everything or link it in the description box below. And thank you guys for hanging out with us. Thank you for
Thank
watching
you.
the replay. Thank you, Donna.
Thank you.
For your beautiful face and your gorgeous daughter Eileen for recommending you. We will be live again tomorrow at 10 a.m. Pacific time. We'll see you guys then.